welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my first official showing you guys how I make money vlog. Today I'm actually going out to go drive for dollars, which means I'm going out to look for properties that are in distress that I could potentially go after to look at buying or wholesaling. Because if you know me, I am an agent / wholesaler here in Seattle, and I focus on distressed properties for a couple reasons. Primarily because there's just a lot more opportunity in fixer properties. I can find properties for my fixer clients that I can wholesale to and get list back on. I could buy it myself if it's a really good deal, or I can just help the homeowner list it if that's what they're looking for. So with that being said, I'm gonna head out here. I'm gonna go to a neighborhood that I really like to prospect in. I know it's in high demand that anything I find there would sell. And I'm going to show you the tools. I'm going to show you my exact process, what I look for, the tools I use, how I contact the owners, and we might even just get a deal today. So let's go. So if you can see behind me, the neighborhood we're in is really hot neighborhood here in South King County. I like prospecting over here because there's a lot of flips going on, there's a lot of new builds going on, there's a lot of potential with the fixers here. It's very much changing and becoming a lot newer. So I see a lot of opportunity to sell to flippers and builders the distressed properties that I might find. It's also a very high ticket neighborhood, so I can pay the seller a lot and I can sell it for a lot more as a wholesale. And for the listings, even the distressed homes, which means like older homes, they're like there's wear and tear, they're dated, they haven't been updated, they'll sell for like 600 plus, which is crazy. So we're driving through here. We're really looking for houses that are clearly very out of shape, if you will. Old, dated, old windows we're looking for. These are like newer houses, so I won't go down that street. So right here, like these older houses, you know, old paint, I probably wouldn't mark that one down because I really want to go after things that are pretty clearly like they need a solution here. They need a problem solved. There's an issue here. So there are kind of a lot of older homes in this neighborhood. So I'm starting right over here. And you'll see here and there that there are properties that have been fixed up. So you can tell that investors are in here improving properties. A lot of multifamilies. You can see duplexes and triplexes in this neighborhood. Let's see. When it comes to driving for dollars, some people do this virtually and some people just go in person like I am right now. I prefer to go out in person because you can see the houses, you can add properties to your list that maybe weren't on there, you can take properties off the list that look like they're in really good condition. And I think that you should start wholesaling in your backyard in an area that you really know. Like I grew up in this neighborhood, so I'm very familiar with it and I can have productive conversations with the owners about the areas, which helps build trust. So I recommend starting where you are, but like I said, there are people who are successfully virtually wholesaling, so it's really up to you and your own style. So this is a pretty good example of a property that I would mark down on my list. Pretty old looking, it's got old windows. It's in good shape, I'll give it that. And the lawn is kept up, which is usually a sign of, you know, pride of ownership. The colors are older, the paint's faded, so I'm gonna mark this one down and I'll show you how I do it. So what I'll do when I go out to drive for dollars is once I find the first property I like, I'll just start the drive and I'll go free drive. You can do planned route, and I've done this where you import your list and then it creates the route for you, which I like a lot. But just because I'm out and about today, I'm going to go free drive. I'm not trying to do anything specific. So it's got me in here. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to pick the house number. I have no service over here though. I don't have service over here, so that's an issue when you're driving for dollars. But I will just take the house number and the street down, and I'll look at it when I get back to service. No problem. All right, so here's another one behind me. What I'll do, like I said, I'll pull over like every time, you know, for safety. Now, here's what I love about Deal Machine. I will just click on the property on the map and it shows me all the information about it. So it shows me the owner's name, whether it's owner occupied or rented or even vacant sometimes, when the last time it was sold, what it's sold for, so how long they've owned it, even their estimated equity percentage. So I can contact the owner right there and have a very educated conversation, be like, hey, name them by their first name. I can skip trace and mail to them right in the app, and it just makes this whole process really simple. Like back in the olden days, people had to write down the address on a piece of paper and go home and look them up, but with Deal Machine, it just makes it really easy. And it's pretty inexpensive, and you can, like I said, skip trace, which means finding their contact information directly from the app. So like for this one, it was built in 1943. They've owned it since 2010, and it's owner occupied. So I mean, they've owned it for 12 years. Maybe there's a chance that they might be looking to sell. What I normally do is I will add all the properties to the list, and then I'll get home and either skip trace the whole list and call them, or I'll mail to them, or I'll just knock on the door right there. Here's a good one too. Pull over for this one, and then I want to show you guys this new construction behind it, right in front of it. It's crazy. And this one, if it's very like abandoned looking or vacant or looks like it was recently moved out, maybe people are doing work on it, whatever, I'll call it right there and I'll be like, hey, I noticed some work going on. I noticed that you're moving out. I noticed a moving truck in front of the house, which happens sometimes too when I'm out and about, and be like, just curious if you had any thoughts on selling. And the point of the whole thing is to get appointments with the sellers and potentially, you know, help them sell the property. So this one has been owned since 2015. Probably won't mark that down because that's pretty recent, and it's owned by an LLC, so I'll just leave that one alone. Check this out though. Look at this monster. Look at that. New freaking construction. This is a really big house. This is probably like 35, 4,000 square feet. You can see the garage at the bottom. I really like those window shapes. So this is built on a fairly large lot, and because of Deal Machine, we can see what's going on here. They bought this in 2019 for $315,000. They must have just bought like a really small house and knocked it down, and then went to build this huge house. Yep, it's exactly what happened. Driving for dollars is very, very effective when you do it with someone, like a partner or a friend. One person driving and one person on the app inputting properties makes it go a lot faster, and it's really fun to do it with someone. I usually do it with somebody. So here's one, it's got a for sale sign, and what's also cool about Deal Machine, it'll show you too which houses are for sale. So check that out. This one's for sale for $1 million, and it listed on June 17th. Okay, it looks like it went pending, so it sold after 6 days on the market. Pretty good. They must have gotten at least $1 million. Sheesh, has everything on here. Has the listing agent's number, their email. Sheesh. The owner bought it in 2001 for $269,000, so they're making a lot of money on their house. Congratulations. Y'all see this view up here? This is pretty nice. That's like Washington over there. This is like downtown Renton down there. You can see Boeing from here and the Renton airport. That's why that house was $1 million. Now this is what we respectfully call a cracky. But I will say their lawn is nicely kept, so they probably like living there, to be honest. I'm definitely gonna put on the list though, for sure. There's a lot of old houses over here on this little street, as you can see. So this one in particular on the corner.
Hey, real quick, I just want to take a moment to introduce and shout out the sponsor of this video, Deal Machine, the revolutionary app that makes finding and securing real estate deals easier than ever before. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, Deal Machine is the perfect tool for finding and analyzing properties, driving for dollars, and connecting with owners to close deals quickly and efficiently. I'm a longtime user of Deal Machine, and what I love about it is you get access to a vast database of properties in your area, complete with detailed property and owner information to help you filter down and find that perfect deal. And with their app, it is super convenient when you're on the go. My favorite way to use Deal Machine is when I'm out looking at houses or door knocking and I see a property that wasn't already on my list. I can just whip out my app, zero in on the map where I am, and instantly pull up that property sheet to see how long they've owned it, what they bought it for, and even call and mail to them right there in the app. So super easy to use. Deal Machine is a very powerful tool that sets you apart from the competition. I highly, highly recommend. There is a link in my bio to try it free for 7 days and start closing those deals. Big shout out to Deal Machine, and let's get back to the video.
Look at that, it's on a big lot. It's pretty worn down. Lawn's overgrown. So for this one, I'm gonna get on Deal Machine and actually directly skip trace them and try to get in contact right now. All right, so Philip has been there since 1987. He bought it for $62,000. The house was built in 1907, 1,800 square feet. That's pretty good. Okay, so like I said, you can skip trace directly in the app. All right, let's call Philip.
Hi, I'm sorry I missed your call. Please leave your name and number, and I'll call you back.
Hi, I'm calling about a property on Pelly Avenue in Renton. If I've got the right person, please give me a call back here. Thank you. So, the owner's name is Philip, and that was not Philip. So, maybe... Okay, let's call Philip. Let's see if this one works. That could have been like Philip's daughter or something, to be honest. So I'll just go down the list. I'll call like, if there's 10 numbers, I'll call 3 or 4 to try to track down the right owner. And like I said, just because the house is particularly distressed looking, I'll just call it on the spot. But I'm gonna go home and call the whole list later, so. It just feels a lot more personal when I can see the house right in front of me.
Please leave your
Alright,
message.
Philip
for
didn't answer, so I'm gonna leave a message.
68927.
Hi, I'm looking for the owner of the property on Pelly Avenue. I'm working with some people who are looking to buy property in this area. So if that interests you at all, you can call me back at... Thanks. Plain and simple, my voicemail is something along those lines every time. He will call back or he won't, and we just keep looking for the next one. Alright, so we tried to contact one owner so far, left him a message. We're just gonna add a few more properties to the list here and then probably wrap it up. In a typical day, I'll get a lot of properties. Like, I'll get up to 200 properties in one drive depending on the neighborhood. I would say, yeah, anywhere from 50 to 200 is a pretty solid day of driving. I'll go skip trace it, I'll call the owners, and the owners who don't answer, I'll go back and door knock them. That's how I work a neighborhood using, you know, a platform like Deal Machine. It just makes the whole thing a lot easier. So I'm gonna get these two, so 515 and 519. I'll pull over and add those ones to our list. That one's new, so of course I won't put that on the list. This one's also relatively new. Brian's Bungalow. Alright, we found another one we're gonna call on. See if she answers.
This is Nora. You've reached my voicemail. I can't take your
Alright,
call.
we got the right
Leave me a
person.
message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hi Nora, my name is Vena. I'm calling because I'm looking to buy property here in Renton, and I noticed your duplex, your two houses on one property on Williams. Just curious if you had any thoughts on selling. You can give me a call or text back at... Appreciate it. So that concludes our Driving for Dollars session for today. Hopefully that kind of shows, you know, the process and what I look for on the houses. We're really just looking for, you know, older houses that look like they might be ready to sell soon. The first goal for me personally is to buy it. I'm looking for a BRRRR where you buy a property to fix it up, you're adding value, and then you refinance to get your money back and you rent the property out. That is my main squeeze in real estate. That's where I want to get to, owning rental property to create passive income and generational wealth. Second route, which is also really good and very popular, is the wholesale. So because you need money to BRRRR, wholesaling is a really, really great way to stack the cash because you can make a lot of money for very little amount of work, just driving around the neighborhood, contacting sellers and putting the properties under contract. That's the second best thing that you can do with fixer properties. Third best is, as a real estate agent, if you have your license, you can list the property and make an agent commission. So that's why I prospect for these fixer properties, and I really love using apps like Deal Machine. Even PropStream has a good app. I'll leave the links to those down below as well. If you use my link, you get a 7-day free trial with Deal Machine. You get like 200 or more skip traces and 50 or more free mailers for free included, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. So check that out if you are looking at driving for dollars and using this as a strategy to get some wholesales or some BRRRRs. Yeah, let me know your questions in the comments about this. If there's a lot of questions or if maybe something wasn't unclear, I will 100% do a part 2 so you guys can see more in depth about what I look for and how I contact the owners. But with that, thank you for watching this video. Check out those links down below and I will see you in the next one.